Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Cancerian, is number 40 and it says Shiva. It further says Transcendence and it says prepare to step into your seat of higher awareness and conscious action. It further says, I rise above fear, I align with truth, I embody transcendence. And that's what the Shiva energy reminds us of, that we have to rise above our fears. We have to rise above our limitations. What appears as limitation, what appears as a fear is actually the universe, the energies that are nudging you to face your fears, not to bypass them, not to escape them, but face your fears, face those emotions, that turbulence that you're feeling inside of you. Don't drown in them. Face them and rise above it. That's what every uncomfortable situation is meant for us to do. Now, it further says, you are not your fears. You are the cosmic awareness beyond them. And Cancerians, for you, fourth sign energy, you're the mutable water sign. You are a very, your symbol, your life is a crab. It's about protection. That is a very sensitive water signs. So for you, this energy is asking you to understand that whatever pain or difficulty or challenge or emotional turbulence or intense feelings that you're feeling at this point in time is actually leading you to a path of higher knowledge and higher wisdom. It's a doorway. It's a doorway that you are stepping into. So when you see a challenge as a opportunity for you to grow, for your soul to grow, that's when you transcend any kind of limitation. And this energy is all about raising those old patterns, those old attachments to the ways of doing things. Maybe you have outdated beliefs. Maybe you have some outdated responsibilities. So you need to understand that some things are not worth it now. So you need to see the bigger picture and take the appropriate action. So I feel that, Cancerians, you are right now feeling, a little bit outside of your comfort zone. But this is the push that you're getting from the universe towards taking bold steps. Maybe you're asked, maybe you're stepping into some leadership role that you have not been in the past. Or for some of you, this might be that you are starting up, a side gig or a business, something which you have not done before, and there is a fear out here that things will work out or not. So you are being asked to release that fear, to transcend that fear, and follow your heart and soul. What is your heart calling you to do? Follow that path and release any kind of fear related to a job or a business. And even when it comes to your personal life, you might see people that are going through some difficult times and challenges. So give them the support, give them the ear, give them the advice should they need it. But, for Cancerians, you're like a sponge that absorbs those energies and then you lose yourself into it. So this energy is asking you to not lose yourself in those energies. You don't have to absorb all the weight of everyone. And for those of you, this is related to any of your own personal relationships, then, you have to choose your self-esteem and self-respect. If that is what is being threatened, if you find yourself in a situation where your self-esteem or self-respect is being threatened, then you have to choose your self-respect. And that's maybe you have not done in the past. Maybe you gave in too easily. But this is a nudge for you to step into your power and embrace your power. Below down it says, chanting Om Namah Shivaya is believed to balance emotions and transcend fear. So chant these mantras, they will help you to see beyond. If there's anything that is an illusion that was escaping your understanding, I feel that will be made clear to you. And you will be able to make better decisions going forward, more informed decisions going forward, because I feel that whatever illusions or trap that you were in or your mind was in that you were not seeing before, maybe it was still around you. Now it will become clear to you. You know, it's the energy of all those leaders that transcend fear, that transcend anger. You know, the Dalai Lama, Martin Luther King, they are such legendary and visionary leaders. They transcend all kind of emotions that they feel and rise above it for the greater good. So do the chanting, do the meditation, yoga, whatever works for you. Breathwork helps a lot. There's also sound baths and sound healing. And if you feel that there is, you know, the people are not supportive or they bring your energy down, then you need to maintain some distance, some boundaries, healthy boundaries, soft boundaries, so that they, you know, so that their energies are not impacting your decisions. Also, this could be about clearing any kind of clutter in your own home or in your routine. You know, maybe you're giving away your time and energy to things that are not really adding any kind of value, but you're doing it because of old conditioning. So it's time to identify those and let this go as well. You know, Stephen Strange, that was a character in Doctor Strange. That's the perfect example of this energy, you know, where he transcends any kind of limitation that he felt he had, the pain, all the egotistical tendencies, and then he became a master. You know, that's a movie worth watching, which completely embodies the Shiva energy. So I feel that this is a time for you to heal. Some of you could actually be supportive healers and teachers or mentors for other people. This is also a time where if there is something that you are addicted to, a habit, a pattern, a behavior, something in food or some kind of a habit, I feel then it's time to change that up as well. So I feel that some of you, and this is for a very small portion of you, I feel that if you have been impacted by any of your environmental policies or natural calamities, I feel that you guys are regaining the confidence to come together as a team and rebuild your community and society, you know, and understanding that ups and downs is a part of, it's part of life. The next card you have, Cancerians, is the conjunction card. It further says a union merging and coming together. If you see above, the colors are so beautiful, just merging together. You know, it's just like when blue and red come together, they form purple, and that's what is happening over here. If you see the purple dots, and over here on top, there is a circle which shows 0 degrees, and that's what conjunction is all about. When two planets, they come together, their energies are amplified, they work together, they work as a team. They uplift you, they give you that superpower that you need right now. It further says, in union, I expand. In harmony, I create. It's two lights merging into one. Unity creates power. I feel that this planetary alignment, either you have it in your birth chart or the energies that are playing out for you right now is actually giving you that boost of energy to move forward in the direction that your heart is calling you to. It's your soul path that you're stepping into right now, Cancerians. If this is about uniting with people, uniting with a special someone in your personal life, then this energy is reminding you to not lose yourself in partnerships. You know, the true merging is really powerful and it amplifies, it creates a power couple only when you don't lose yourself, but you allow, you know, each of you should be shining individually. And then when you come together, that power is a sum of both of you. So it's not about losing yourself, but it's just like aligning with each other to create that greater power, that superpower. Yeah, it's just like when countries are coming together and uniting, and or you know, recently I was hearing about you know, some initiatives that are going on in regards to health initiatives where you know, different governmental bodies that probably, you know, sometimes are not in sync with each other. They're coming together for positive causes. You know, I was reading about health as well, health initiatives that are coming up. So it's just that when we, you know, some of you could be even uniting and reuniting with people from the past that you have not heard from a long time, or maybe went different ways, and now there is a chance to come together, to talk it out, have those conversations, to explain yourselves, and to understand the deeper meaning on why you separated in the first place, and now why you're coming together. So the energies are favoring merging and coming together of people. It's just that, when we pull in our resources, this could also be resources coming together. It's like when there is some kind of um, some natural calamity, I would say, or some kind of a event that happened that kind of shook a community up or something like that, where everybody comes together to build, to rebuild stronger. It could be just for a very small portion of you. And I hope not, but I feel that this is mostly about partnerships, and whether it's business partnerships or personal partnerships, if you see the teeny show, This Is Us, there are two people in that, Jack and Rebecca Pearson, and so beautiful characters, some of my, favorites. They come together. It's such a powerful union, it's just a perfect embodiment of how they create that power couple, and they carry out their responsibilities, and at the same time they don't lose each other in partnerships or in that union. Some of you might be coming together as a family to create a project or a business. But this is also like an internal union for some of you, where you are balancing your head, heart, mind, body, soul. It's like about staying independent, taking care of yourself, where you don't want to be dependent on people. You want to be able to take care of yourself. You want to nurture your own self. But this can also be reconciliation in the external world. It could be with friends, it could be with family, or it could be some, forming of some new business ventures and partnerships, creative partnerships, media into creative projects. It's that kind of union, which is, going to strengthen you, strengthen each of you. That is a part of that partnership. Specifically when it comes to conjunctions, these are very karmic points. These are karmic unions, especially if you have these conjunctions in your birth chart. And it's going to be individually, it's going to be different for each one of you. Not every one of you will have a conjunction in your birth chart. But if you do, that's actually karmic souls that are meant to come together to learn the lessons, to finish the lessons, and to, to help each other grow, for the soul growth. And when it comes to those karmic ties, things happen, ups and downs, and good and bad days, there is resentment, sometimes we carry. But just knowing that, people in our lives are meant for us, are meant to grow us, and they're sent in our path for us to grow, to learn some soul lessons, to finish the karmic, to finish our karma, to relive our karma. Maybe from past lives we could have inherited, but that doesn't define us by any means. So anything that went wrong in the past is not something that defines you. It actually shapes you into the version that you become with every passing day. And I feel that when you look back, you will realize why some people came into your lives, because they were meant to direct you to certain points, to certain experiences that eventually will help you lead yourself, lead a life in a more fuller way. Heartfelt leadership, mindful leadership, these karmic ties, they direct us and redirect us on our paths that we're meant to walk. Sometimes we do get derailed, but then, karmic people and experiences will bring us back on track. And it's not easy sometimes. Derailing is easy, but coming back sometimes is painful, or sometimes even derailing is difficult. But then when we're meant to walk on our soul path, that is something bigger. Sometimes these shakeups and derailments, which feel uncomfortable, are actually meant for our highest good. So this is a very good time where two people, you could be completely different from each other. But then when you learn to align yourself and you learn to bridge those differences, when you learn to create that harmony and find the middle ground, that becomes soulful. That becomes a powerful partnership. And that becomes, a sacred purpose. The next card you have Cancerins is the Princess of Swords. this is a port card, and I feel that even though Swarm Suit is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, the air elements, I feel either you have these placements in your birth chart or these are just the energies that are playing out for you right now. You might be in this energy. So this is about truth seeking. And if you see here, there is a symbol of the goddess Ma'at. And Ma'at is like the goddess of justice, of speaking truth, of clarity. Here below it says, by seeking truth, I protect my heart and uplift my world. And that's what this says. You see, this princess over here, she's holding the sword lifted up. Her eyes are wide open. So this is cutting through any nonsense, cutting through illusions, things that you were trapped in or people were projecting something onto you. But now you're getting to the bottom of things. You're learning new things. You're discovering new things. You're discovering things that were shielded away, maybe intentionally or unintentionally. And you know, this is a whistleblower energy. This is the curious energy where you learn facts, you dig up deeper to understand the truth. Some of you could be in media and news journalism. You know, we are trying to uncover truths. This is the sword of clarity. This is the sword of curiosity in this picture. It's like having the knowledge, the details, so that whatever clouded judgments you had in the past, any mental fog, that gets cleared away. So right now, this is going to be your power tool, Cancerans, you know, being curious, learning about facts, asking the right questions. It might be a difficult question, but then you will get the clarity. You will get more information that will help you clear out misconceptions. You know, learning the truth and speaking your truth will be important at this point in time. So I do feel that, you know, this is also like... Swords is also not just written, but not just learning, but it's also writing and speaking the truth. So some of you could be even advocates or lawyers working in the law field, you know, defending people, creating more transparent and fair and just laws or policies. You might be standing up for changes and reforms. You know, there's a lot of, I was reading up about a few days back about education reforms that are happening, and students are now, they're coming together as a body, you know, as one big, huge team. Some are protesting against this education reforms that are happening. You know, they want fairness, they want transparency. Some of you might be in corporates and you're uncovering things that are wrong in systems. You know, sometimes people just put anything out there, you know, processes, and there's no one to check. There's no peer checking. And then later on, you know, some errors and defects come out and nobody speaks about it. But I feel that you learn something at your workplace, maybe something done wrong, a process done wrong, data is wrong, and now you're speaking up against that to the higher management. Maybe it takes a lot of courage to do that, you know, but I feel that you have the courage. You're standing up to incorrect practices. You're standing up to corruption. You're presenting the facts as it is, as it should have been done long time back. Some of you could be learning up something about your family heritage, your family, you know, maybe some facts that you did not know from your distant relatives or even from your near and dear ones. Maybe some things that maybe you forgot or you didn't, nobody told you about it, or, you know, it just got shrugged off. But now you're kind of discovering something, maybe personal, maybe related to your family, that helps you figure things out internally. Like, you know, sometimes our behavioral patterns or why things happen or why do we have this or why don't we have this, those things become clear once we know the truth, and it happens only when we talk, when we dig further. Sometimes people don't just divulge everything on their own. We have to ask the right questions, you know. So I feel that you are doing that. You're also being very observant at this point in time, so using all your mental faculties, you know, your wit. There's a lot of Gemini energy, a lot of Libra energy, yeah, and also a lot of Aquarius energy. You're balancing things, trying to find the balance to communication. Some of you are sharp observers, and you might be in jobs like, you know, maybe you're in the law enforcement or things like that, where you need a lot of observation power. Maybe you're observing the cosmos and skies, where you need to observe, dig in deep and get the facts out. A lot of wit is needed. You might be in tricky situations where you need to use all the experience, good and bad, and, you know, use a lot of wit and spin that into something that people can digest easily. you might be into that as well. Some of you might be in those situations as well. But I feel that, you're not afraid of facing the truth. You're not afraid of confrontation, especially when it becomes essential, especially in activism, especially when you're rooting for a cause, especially when you're trying to uncover truths. You're not afraid of conflict because you want the truth to rise. You want clarity for everybody. Some of you could actually be into research. You might be doing medical research or educational research as well. But I feel that, sometimes it does take, blunt truth to bring about change. Sometimes people don't understand it if we just, use softer tone or softer words. Sometimes we have to use words that strike a chord or hit the nerve so that, we are able to create change. And I feel that you're not afraid of doing that as well. You're using this word as a very powerful weapon for speaking your truth, delivering truth, no matter how hard it is for you or the other person. And especially, I feel that you're also learning a lot, and knowledge is power. Knowledge truly is power. That's how I see it with this picture. This image truly tells me that knowledge shields us against vulnerabilities, against getting derailed and detracted. So learning a lot. I feel you are learning a lot. Some of you could be just upskilling, taking a lot of training and certifications and things like that. Some of you could be learning about company structures. Maybe you're new to the company, you're a new hire, and you need to learn up about the teams and processes. So some of you could be doing that as well. I'm also getting that your senses of speaking, communication, observing, listening is really powerful right now, Cancerians. So make the most of it. Some of you might be actually trying to update the systems. You want newer ideas. The policymakers, they want fresh ideas, new minds, new ideas, fresh voices, because sometimes the old system becomes outdated and no longer serves us. It doesn't adapt to modern day technology and skills and things that are available out there. So some of you might be tearing down older systems and bringing in new ideas, new people to we build systems that are more futuristic. So you will need a lot of brain power to do that. People that think sharply, people that ask questions, that analyze well, that communicate well. So you might be creating a team or you might be doing that yourself. And the last card for today, Cancerians, you have is the boundaries card. And it says, where do you need to establish better boundaries? It further says you are being called to create clearer boundaries in your lives. This could be with your friends, family, or work. Saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment, which is the biggest energy drain ever. At first, it might only be a little and not feel like a big deal, but before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you are left feeling depleted, resentful, taken advantage of. And that's how it happens, It's like, it further says here, by honoring my limits, I expand my light. And boundaries actually strengthen us. It strengthens our aura. Aura, I see, that's my perception. Like aura is like, the circle of light that we create around us. It's like a mandala, where we contain our light. If you keep giving when you're drained, you won't be able to put in your best. It further says here, saying no and having clear boundaries is actually a spiritual act. The most giving, loving, compassionate people are those with the clearest boundaries. For when they say yes, they are able to give unconditionally. Absolutely, it's like we create deeper bonds when we create those boundaries because now we know who respects us and who doesn't. I feel that, even ourselves, it's part of self-care when we protect our own light, when we don't feel drained, we're able to think straight, we're able to do things mindfully. And I feel it's a time for you to release those habits of people pleasing and so that you're able to protect your own energy, protect yourself from being burnt out. I remember when I was watching the Olympics in 2020, there was a very accomplished Olympian. Her name was Simone Biles, I think. It was Simone Biles. And If you remember, if someone, for those of you who have watched Olympics, you probably know in the 2020 Tokyo Games, she said that she will be taking a break because of her twisties. It was like a mental block that she experienced, and she did not participate in the 2020 Tokyo Games. Then she, she got the healing. She fixed herself, all the problems, health issues, and things like that, and she was back for the 2024 Paris Olympics. And I believe she won medals for that as well. She won a bronze or a silver. I don't remember exactly, but I think she won medals for that. I've been actively following her in the all-around for Olympics. So she did back out, like no matter how much the, people put pressure on her, but she chose herself, right? Those were the boundaries that she defined. And for sure, guys, even scientifically, when I was reading things about psychology, I was reading subjects about psychology, seeing no actually helps us de-stress. It makes our immune system way much better. And it also allows us to focus on things and, give it our best, and it improves productivity in general. So I do feel that Cancerians, this is the time for you. Like if you are the go-to person for solving everybody's problems at work, then you need to delegate that, or you need to learn to say no in a gentle way, right? You don't have to be all that blunt, but you can say no gently. For some of you, this could be, maybe in your community or where people are just draining your energy. They're taking a lot. If you see in the picture, there are so many hands that are reaching out to this central right. These are situations, these are people or energies that put a, demand on your time, on your attention, on the love that you give. And being a water sign, you're very generous. You give freely. You're all about helping people. You're very emotional, very sensitive in that base. So when you establish boundaries, especially Cancerians have that misconception that it will close you off. It's not about creating walls. It's just about preserving your energy, so that you can do things without feeling the burnout. Because if you're just constantly in the mode of doing for this, that, and the third, when are you going to rest? When are you going to prioritize your own care? So, when our cup is full, only we can give. You can't pour from an empty cup. So your light is sacred to Cancerians, right? So we need to protect it in ways that are possible for us to do. So put your thinking cap on. You have the Princess of Swords energy right before this. So I feel that's allowing you to discern like what works for you, what doesn't, having healthy routines so that you get the time to rest up and recharge your own batteries, I feel that now you're able to tell things from what's draining you, from what's sustaining you. So do things that sustain you and, keep things at bay that drain you. And I do feel that this is a karmic time for you, Cancerians, to learn this kind of responsibility on what you can take, what you should take, what's yours and what's not yours, responsibility, right? And I also feel that, especially for those of you who are in relationships that are draining with a person or professional, if you see any kind of tension, I feel that it's time to draw the boundary, because you need to balance this out. And I feel that's the lesson for you at this point in time on how to balance the love and the care that you give alongside your self-respect and caring for your own self. It further says here, when your boundaries are clear, others know where they stand and you are able to give freely. If you are not clear where your boundaries lie, this causes confusion, resentment, and energetic cords to be planted. So if you're saying yes when you really mean no, you are likely meaning something yourself. Ask yourself what part of me needs something from them. It could be a need for approval or a fear of being seen a certain way or a fear of loss. The best way to gauge your boundaries is to check with your belly. Your belly is your second brain. It is an intelligence known as your gut feelings. Tune into the space when deciding what is okay for you. How does it feel? What is it trying to communicate with you? All right, so Cancerians, these being general energies will play out differently in your lives. Let me know in the comments how these energies play out in yours or in the environment around you, and hope you enjoyed your messages. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.